So we have on stage now Chartered Accountant K. Raghu, past President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Please welcome CA Kotha S. Srinivas, respected Central Council member with the ICAI. And the two experts which we are keenly waiting to hear from, Mr. Shahied Daniels, Chairman, Edinburgh Group and CEO, SAIPA. And our fourth panelist is Mr. Prashant Ganti, Vice President, Global Strategy and Alliances Enterprise Finance Unit with Zoho Corporation. I first and foremost request CA K. Raghu sir, past President, we'll start with sir. Okay, we'll have the opening remarks first from CA Kotha Srinivas sir. Sir. And then we'll hand it over to Raghu sir.
Good afternoon, delegates. Welcome to this session, Track AI, Technology and Startup Accounting and Finance in the Age of Generative AI. We have on the stage the panel session chairman, C.A. K. Raghu, the past president of ICAI. Then we have two speakers, Mr. Shahied Daniels, chairman, Edinburgh Group and CEO, SAIPA. Then Mr. Prashant Ganti, Vice President, Global Strategy and Alliance Enterprises Finance, Zoho Corporation. Well, members, to tell something about artificial intelligence and emerging, I should say, technology, which is working as a potent tool, and generative AI promises to transform financial process. Of course, we being chartered accountants, we have come across various technological changes over a period of time. When I was doing articles, we were doing accounting in manual. Then we came to Tally software, I should say Tally, because there are many softwares, but which is prevailing here is Tally software for accounting. Then technology also kept on improving over a period of years. But whatever said and done, when challenges are coming, opportunities were also there for the professionals. Now, the new challenge, I should say, is artificial intelligence. So it's ranging from risk assessment to data entry. So many things it will take care. It's what we have listening about AI. But let me tell you, as on today, it has not made its mark as such, because it's not entered into our profession as on today. But time may not be far enough that maybe in the coming 5 to 10 years, it may definitely have an impact on our profession. The potential of generative AI is to improve decision-making, expedite process, and reduce risk in the accounting and finance industry, and is becoming more and more apparent as technology advances. AI technology makes data analysis faster and more accurate, which helps financial institutions provide reports more rapidly and effectively. Businesses can find trends, patterns, and insights that they might have missed by using AI algorithms. Better decision-making, enhanced risk mitigation, and higher operational efficiency results from this. Of course, all these things are practical there, but when it comes to actual things, to implement this AI, definitely there should be a technological advancement or knowledge, not only for chartered accountants, but also the businesses that happen in this country as such. So it may take, according to me, some more time. But having said that, as financial professionals, we have to know more about this generative AI, how it impacts the businesses as such, how it impacts the profession as such. So we even though in India, it may take a little bit more time to get into this AI technology, but we cannot keep quiet for that alone, because when once we talk about digital India, today India has got biggest digital platforms or digital transactions compared to other countries in the world. So it may also happen that this AI plays a major role in the business of India and also worldwide. And now, being Indian chartered accountants, we cannot only think about serving the Indian business as such. We have to see how we can stay local and serve global. So these are all some of the important aspects or opportunities for chartered accountants. If not only serving the Indian businesses, we also should aim to serve businesses across the globe. So this is all the opportunities that will be coming in our way in the coming few years. So this particular session is very important to understand more about these things. We have three panelists, C.A.K. Raghu, the session chairman, and other two people who will take us through this generative AI and what all the effects of this and what all the opportunities for our profession. With these brief opening remarks, let me welcome the three panelists and also each and every one of you for this particular session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chartered Accountant Kotha Srinivas, Central Council member with ICAI, for your opening remarks. So what is the potential of generative AI and how will it impact the businesses? It's over to the session chair, C.A.K. Raghu, past president, ICAI. Sir.
Good afternoon to all the delegates present here. It's a pleasant opportunity for me to be in this panel as a chairman of the session. And we have two eminent guests along with us who will be talking about how AI would impact each one of us sitting here in this hall. Shahied Daniels, the chairman of the Edinburgh Group and CEO of South African Institute of Public Accountants, a good friend of mine. We used to work in IFAC, the International Federation of Accountants, when I was a board member from 2015 to 18. Then Mr. Prashant, Vice President, Global Strategy and Alliances from Zoho. Both of them would talk about how AI would impact the accounting and finance profession. Friends, today what is happening is we are looking at a digital transformation happening around the world. And this digital transformation is impacting the accounting and the finance profession. Today, what is happening is all routine accounting tasks are getting automated thanks to robotic process automation. Today, whichever large corporates you go, you find that the whole billing is computerized. Reconciliation is computerized. A lot of activities are computerized. So routine accounting tasks are getting computerized. Remote work flexibility has become a new normal. Thanks to COVID, it really enabled all of us to work from home, work from wherever we are. So remote working also has become a big advantage for us as finance professionals. Real-time reporting. Today, managements expect you to report real time. The board of directors wants data as close as what has happened for the day. So real-time reporting has become a new normal, and we find more and more corporates are now embracing technology that enables real-time reporting. The next thing is cloud-based collaborations. Today, we have a lot of accounting softwares, a lot of financial tools are all cloud-based, making it very easy and simple for multiple teams across different locations to work on the same application. You have a team in Bombay, team in Morocco, or a team in Japan working on the same application. New digital payment mechanisms. Today, the way you go about buying your products, services online, the way you, in a country like India, we have seen how all the digital wallets have become so popular. You can buy simple things like you could tender coconut using your mobile app. And when we go to other countries, we find that digital payment mechanisms are not as matured as what we see in India, but countries like Japan have started taking the help of Indian companies, Indian fintech companies to introduce digital payment mechanism. Of course, finally, data security is one major concern. I think as finance professionals, we should be aware as to how we can mitigate the risk in data security and privacy. So it's absolutely essential for all of us to get ready for the new future. And disruptive technology would what will, reshape the accounting profession. As I said, we have talking about how Chat GPT would, bring about a change. All of us have seen how AI has brought about the change today. You have an iPhone, you can speak to Siri, you go home, you say, Alexa, can you play this music? Everything is so convenient, so useful. So what really is happening is a lot of new technology, accounting technology careers are opening up for our profession. And as I said, mobile accounting is gaining popularity. And the message is that the accountants need to be tech savvy. So having said this, we need to understand how AI would impact all of us. So this is a type of artificial intelligence that can create new content. It identifies patterns from existing data and uses that knowledge to generate novel information. Let us say you're, regularly watching Facebook and you see a particular type of content, the same type of content keeps popping up. Whether you're using any social media platform, you find that, similar content, you go on a YouTube channel, you seeing a certain set of videos, you have the same set of videos getting popped up. So what is happening in the realm of accounts and finance? Generative AI holds a potential to revolutionize various processes from customer interactions to fraud detection, as a result of which it provides a more efficient and personalized user experience. Simple things like data entry and bookkeeping, financial statement generation, the whole financial reporting process would undergo a change in the era of artificial intelligence. I would not touch upon it deep because we have speakers who will talk about that. But many of these routine activities would become very simple, very easy for you, and AI technology would help you to conduct all these activities very easily. Expenses management could be another area where AI can bring about a big change. Budgeting and forecasting could be another area where AI can bring about a big change. So what is really essential for us to break the barriers? The world economy is going digital. I think when you go around the world, you see that every country is going digital. Disruption is a new normal. So our profession also is not spared from the disruption. And today businesses are, dealing with multiple countries. You have an entrepreneur who have business happening in various locations. And we need to learn how to deal with multiple accounting systems. We need to keep an open mind to learn emerging technologies, because if you don't learn emerging technologies, you need to know what is quantum computing and what is, AI. And that is what is very critical. And finally, my message, or maybe my last slide, is how all of us should be future ready. This is possible, friends. We can only say that technology will support and it not replace accountants. I think all of us are aware of that. And then there's a need for us to collaborate with technology professionals. We find that, yes, you are a practicing accountant and you find that your knowledge of technology is inadequate. Yes, you need to work with technology companies. You need to work with technology professionals. If you want to know more about blockchain, you want to know more about AI, you need to know more about anything about, you can say data, any cyber security, you need to work with technology consultants. And finally, accountants should embrace technology with an open mind. It's not very difficult for us to learn new technologies. Very, very easy. It's only that you should have an open mind, and chartered accountants are good at acquiring new skill sets. I can only say that the way forward the profession is exciting, and let's be future ready. With these, I would like to thank the organizers for giving an opportunity to share a few thoughts of mine. And I would now request Shahied Daniels, the chairman of the Edinburgh Group, to make his presentation.
Good afternoon. Namaste, namaskar. Colleagues, I don't have a presentation, but I'll talk to the pointers which I deemed it appropriate for the topic of today, and then we can have a conversation afterwards. I would like to start off by saying we're living at a time where business as usual is the surest and the shortest road to being washed up the shores of irrelevance. This is a time where every profession, not only our accountancy profession, is to embrace business as unusual to remain relevant. In the swiftly evolving landscape of modern business, and I'm going to also refer to the South African Institute of Professional Accountants, the professional body which I'm heading, to give you a few points what we are doing regarding generative AI at the professional body. So we stand at the beacon of innovation and foresight, particularly in the context of generative AI, and it's burgeoning the impact of the fields of both accounting and finance. As technology advanced, accounting professional bodies such as SAIPA, ICAI, is committed to understand leveraging AI and generative AI more specifically to enhance the profession. It is this comparative discussion which I want to share with you in three areas. The one is the transformative impacts of generative AI. Second, the opportunities of generative AI. And thirdly, the critical considerations that we as professionals need to have in this area of technological advancements. However, it is important, I will say it now and I will say it at the end of my presentation as well. It's important to understand that these systems does not replicate human intelligence and have a distinct limitations. It is therefore essential that we recognize that they have both strengths and limitations and a different type of intelligence. Consequently, we as human beings need to understand the best way in which we can work together with the computers, the digital technology, and to use it to our benefit. So the transformative effects of generative AI in accounting and finance. The integration of generative AI in the accounting and finance is testament to the unprecedented technological evolvement and impact these sectors. The technology is not just automating tasks, not at all, but it's also reshaping the very nature of the accountancy and the finance profession. For instance, and my colleague, past president, have touched on this, the basic mundane task of data entry, bookkeeping, basic reporting, traditional time-consuming, and which are prone to human error, are now being efficiently and managed by generative AI or AI in general, leading to a significant shift in the role of finance professionals. And I would like to see them, when they make use of these technological advancements, they will become value creators to their clients or to the businesses in which they serve. The shift from pure data handlers to become strategic advisors and analysts is a critical transformation for us as professional accountants. However, generative AI advanced data processing capabilities are enabling a more deeper and more accurate financial analysis and forecasting. The ability to analyze large data sets quickly and accurately is crucial for risk management, risk assessment, financial planning, and strategic decision-making. These advancements are pushing the boundaries that what was previously possible in financial analysis and strategic planning. Let me move to the second point. It is the opportunities presented by generative AI. Automated and advanced data processing has introduced sophisticated algorithms that automate complex and voluminous data processing tasks. These automation transcends traditional methods, enabling faster, more accurate processing of financial transactions and records, not limited to financial transactions, but non-financial information as well. It is not just about efficiency. It's about enabling professionals to handle large volumes of data with a greater precision, leading to more informed decision makings and timelessly as well as to become futuristic about where we want to take the business into the future using the data sets, the large number of data. The second point, it is the enhance of analytical capabilities. Beyond basic automation, generative AI offer advanced analytical capabilities. It can identify trends, anomalies, and patterns, and sometimes behaviors as well, both in financial and non-financial data that might go unnoticed by the human analysis. This level of insight is invaluable for forecasting, market analysis, strategic planning, and providing us a deeper understanding of financial health and business opportunities, as well as creating value. And remember I said earlier, value creators. It is creating value for future foresight decision-making. My third point under the opportunities is the real-time financial insights and reporting. With generative AI, the dream of real-time financial reporting and insights, and my colleague from Zoho will talk more about it just now, is becoming a reality. The immediacy of both financial and non-financial reporting allows for quicker responses to market changes, because we're living in an era of the only constant in life is change. So for the quicker responses to market changes, more timely decision-making, and more dynamic approach to financial management and reporting. Predictive financial modeling is another consideration which we need to take into consideration. So predictive capabilities are a game changer for us with making use of generative AI. And by analyzing historical data and the current market trends, it can predict future financial scenarios, helping businesses to prepare for various outcomes and plan accordingly. This predictive modeling is essential, once again, for risk management, investment planning, as well as strategic financial decision-making. Last but not least, on this particular opportunity, in my opinion, from my perspective, is the interaction, client and or employer-employee interaction and personalized relationships. Generative AI enables more personalized and effective and efficient services. AI-driven chatbots, virtual assistants can handle routine tasks and inquiries, freeing up us as professional accountants or chartered accountants to focus more on complex tasks which our clients and our employers prefer. Moreover, the generative AI can tailor financial advice and solutions to individual clients' profiles, enhance client satisfaction and engagement. So we make use of what is available to us to enhance our relationship with our clients in terms of the more complex issues, and let the mundane issues being sorted by the generative AI. However, my third official point, it is the consideration for us as professionals, being as chartered accountants, professional accountants, and for organizations per se, responsible use of the potential for biased AI-driven decision necessitates us to focus on the ethical aspects of AI, emphasizing transparent, fairness, and accountability. Skills development and adaptation there too. So we as professionals need to continually update our skills to stay relevant. What's happened in this digital information era and this AI-driven landscape, focusing on areas where human judgment, strategic planning are of paramount of interest. And how do we balance AI with the human expertise? It is crucial that we strike a balance between the AI capabilities and the human judgment. The role of professionals evolves to interpret and apply AI-generated insights effectively. The two words that we are very known to in our profession is professional judgment and professional skepticism. That will remain for us as professional accountants and chartered accountants in order how we apply our mind in the generative AI era. Data security and privacy is another issue of concern for us, that we need to be aware of these things. With the increase of the digital systems, safeguarding of sensitive financial data and non-financial data against the breaches of critical information, implementing robust cybersecurity measures implementing robust cybersecurity systems in order to measure. It is essential that we have this in our systems, that we not transgress it, and or our system is protected by the necessary firewalls. I'm going to conclude by saying, as professional bodies, we, as the ICAI and SAIPA, South African Institute of Professional Accountants, there's a saying of, say, a professional body or organization serves its members well, but a great professional body leads its members to where they ought to be. And digital transformation and digital technology, such using tools as generative AI, RPA, robotic process automations, quantum computing, as my colleague have referred to earlier, it's important that we need to upskill ourselves and reskill ourselves in order that we understand how to make use of these tools in order to service our clients and or our employers. By fostering a deep understanding of generative AI, encouraging ethical practices, and supporting continuous and learning and adaptation, it's important that we not only adapt to these changes, but we should thrive on these changes and the challenges in this age of generative AI. So in the advent of generative AI in the fields of accounting or accountancy and finance marked a significant turning point for us as professional accountants and chartered accountants. It is about harnessing these advancements, the challenges, the changes, the demands thereof, in order to redefine the accountancy profession. And ICAI is one of the leading professional bodies that are very progressive with how they service their members. By embracing generative AI, professionals can unlock a number of levels of efficiency, insights, strategic value, and steering the course towards more innovative and effective future, such as future foresight. However, my last point is to conclude to say it's important to stress that that us as professionals, it's important that we need to be aware once again, and I said I repeat it in the end as well, the ethical challenges that we need to be aware of. Despite the numerous benefits generative AIs have, it may pose ethical considerations and data privacy concerns which necessitate the human oversight and the human judgment and the human professional skepticism. I thank you so much.
Thank you, Shahied. I think that was a brilliant presentation as to how AI would affect the accounting profession. The message is loud and clear. We're all looking at new technologies. We have a lot of ethical challenges. We have other professionals also joining us in understanding these emerging technologies. But yes, we have to be watchful. We need to be very, very keen on learning new technologies, understand what are the developments taking place around the world, and try to see how best you can adapt to the new technology so that you're not left behind. Thank you, Mr. Shahied, for coming all the way from Johannesburg and the South African Institute of Public Accountants. We have working with them very closely, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I had the opportunity of traveling to Johannesburg when I was a president, and we have a very good understanding. We are collaborating on a lot of projects, and I'm extremely thankful to Mr. Shahied for having come all the way, and I'm sure he would enjoy his stay here in India. Now I would invite Mr. Prashant, the Vice President Global Strategy from Zoho, to take us through his presentation on how AI would impact each one of us.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me in this session. Post-lunch session is always difficult, and I will try to keep this textually and visually light so that it's easy to digest. But isn't anything related to AI the most important session of the day? Yes or no? Yeah. So for the past couple of years, especially past few months, right? Each and every conference I attend, there is a session on AI, not just one, there are many sessions on AI. That wasn't the case even 2 years back. So how fast things change. So I'll also state a Socratic irony here. When someone says that they are going to tell, as my presentation says, past, present, and future, I teach, but I know nothing as far as future is concerned. So with that, let me take you back into the past. Let's time travel to 100 BC. You're wondering what this rusted wheel or someone said it looks like a drainage pipe doing in an AI presentation. This is the world's first earliest surviving analog computer. So today, most of the computers that we use are digital in nature, right? There's ones and zeros, bytes, they work on and off switches. Analog computers mimic a physical phenomena. They're continuous in nature. They do one specific task very well. So they are making a comeback because AI is growing, but this was in 100 BC. And this was called the, Antikythera mechanism. Anybody from Greece here? No, okay. Antikythera is an island of it was a place out of the Greek coast. And this was discovered of the Greece coast. And this had multiple interlocking mechanisms. It took for scientists to decode what it was. It was used for predicting astronomical cycles well into the future. So even today, scientists are still trying to figure out how it works. And it was such a complicated mechanism that was conceived and built and deployed in 100 BC. And yeah, right answer. And it took several centuries before more progress was made as far as computing is concerned. And we need to come back to 1942 and until Kelvin's tide predicting machine, which was used to help the Allies. It helped in the Normandy invasion of Allies, and you know who won the World War II, right? So this was again an analog computer that helped the Allies reach the Normandy coast and surprise the Germans, and they won. And moving away from computers, this is how the streets of New York looked in 1890s. And you can see, right, there's a lot of waste dump, and it's actually horse waste that is dumped because there were no cars at that point in time, and people used to ride carriages. And in a matter of just 20 years, that wasn't a problem in New York because Henry Ford came up with Model T, and there was no carriages. People stopped traveling in carriages. So the reason why I'm sharing all this is humans have always invested in automation to make things easy. Automation, reduce human intervention in our day-to-day tasks, make our processes easy, um, spend a lot less time in mundane tasks. And we also have always looked to invest in forecasting tools to tell us how the future is going to be. So this has always been the case right from 100 BC. And even the word computer, right, was first recorded in 1613. In 1613, a computer was a person somebody used to hire to perform tasks. Tomorrow, who knows? Instead of hiring a programmer, you might buy a programmer, correct? So we don't know how things will pan out in the future. So, and there's something called as the frontier paradox. It's a phenomenon where we always ascribe to humans things that are beyond our technology mastery. Several years back, this was AI. Today, we call that as dictation software, correct? And this was AI before, it's object detection now. So in fact, John McCarthy was the person who coined the term AI, and he was disillusioned because once people are so familiar with something, they stopped calling that as AI. And before I tell past, coming back to the present, right? Let's understand what happened in the past. So if you're a fan of science fiction, right, from 1930s to 50s, there's a lot of science fiction novels, a lot of literature in science fiction mushroomed. Probably the reason why we call 1950s to 1970s as the golden age of AI. This was when there was big increase in computational power. There's a lot of thinking about how machines can do a lot of tasks that humans do. Alan Turing came up with this concept of Turing machine at that point in time. ELIZA, there were a lot of tools that were developed, a lot of things that had came up in the 1950s. But cut to 1970s, it was AI winter. That means there was a reduction in funding in AI. People really underestimated the computational capability required to do tasks like translation and several other things. But again, in 1980s, there was again a wave of, for example, Japan invested a lot in expert systems where a lot of decision-making was done by computers. There was a lot of investment and funding that happened in the 1980s. 1980s was a good period. But after that, again, government funding for AI projects virtually stopped. But in private sector, you can find, we all use search engines, right? Search engines are a very good example. Under the hood, there is a lot of things that are probabilistic in nature. Systems continuously load what are the best search results to show. Those all happened in the private sector. So that was a good period. Now, this is a phrase that I like, and it became very popular during COVID. There are decades when nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And the advent of ChatGPT is also one such thing, because as I told you, right, there's all conferences, suddenly there are multiple AI sessions, and everybody is talking about AI. But then why now, and what is it for us? So those are the important questions that we need to answer. So, but we have to understand what is the broader impact of technology itself. And spotting trends is very, very difficult. I can tell you from personal experience that in 2016, 17, when we were actually, at Zoho, we are a bootstrap company. We don't have multiple resources working on any projects. There was a lot of coolness factor attached to cryptocurrencies, and we were debating whether to invest resources in building a GST software for India or a cryptocurrency software. And thank God we took the wise decision of building GST software for India. And that's why I'm here talking to you all. So, so that was so some of the, you go by your gut feel experience and you try to stay away from some of the fad. But yeah, some of the jobs that people predicted centuries ago, AI, underwater city builders, moon miners, radium specialists. AI is happening now, but others we don't still see, right? But these were really people predicted these jobs will exist. And then, but jobs we see now, data scientists is one of the highest paying jobs, network engineers, robotic engineers, these are all high paying jobs now. But these people didn't predict 100 years back. And we are also thinking about, I need to crane my neck because the laptop is still not working. Personalized learning curator. There's something called as Bloom's 2 sigma problem. What it says is, if instead of putting a child in a group class, if there is a one-on-one coaching class, he can move from something like a C grade to A grade, any kid. So there are 2 standard deviations of improvement you can see in the kid. But today it's not possible to find one tutor for one child, right? That possibly can change with personalized AI. That could be a job that could evolve in the future. Data privacy officer, if you have been following the privacy standards, people from Europe would be very familiar with GDPR. So DPOs is a growing field. AI augmented healthcare specialist. These are all jobs that will be emerge. And potential future jobs, human AI alliance and climate reversal specialists, digital memory therapist, all these will emerge. We are just predicting. We are not sure how things will pan out. But forget about centuries. We didn't even know today from 2018, right? We were, so we need not go so far in the past. So what is, from a business standpoint, right? The key to survive all these rapidly evolving technology shifts, geopolitical shifts, and various other shocks that are happening is resilience. And how do you future-proof? This is something that each one of us, I mean, we're not sure 100% we can future-proof, but what are the steps that we can take? So embrace the technology waves, but don't embrace something just because it is cool. So, but we can also say that we are at the peak of AI summer today, because there's a humongous amount of data available, right? There are multiple companies that have built business models around availability of data, cheaper data collection, infinite processing power, and of course, generative AI, the zeitgeist of our times, correct? By the way, the word generative itself, right? You know who came up with the world's first generative grammar? Any guesses here? It was by Panini, who wrote Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi is the world's first language generation grammar. So Panini obviously is from India. So, but are we, as the AI hype cycle, peaking? So this is a thread that I picked up from Hacker News. A company adopted generative AI for customer support, and they started seeing falling standards in customer service. Customers started leaving them. So if you don't understand what you are using, then you might fall into that trap. Jan LeCun is a famous Turing awardee who's deep into AI research. This is what he has to say. Before we get through godlike AI, we need to get through dog-like AI. So another example of some disappointment with generative AI, right? Now, but coming to what it means to us, right? Of all this, I have given some stories now. How do you classify today's chartered accountant versus an AI for CA? Correct. Today, primarily, we are looking into the rear view mirror. But what can we use today's technologies that are available to tell us how the road looks like ahead of us? So much of the focus is on quarterly reporting and backward-looking metrics. But today, right, beyond all the AI hype, technology is available right at your fingertips to glean cross-functional analytics and tell your clients or even the business in which you work how the future is going to be in the near future. At least I mean, not far off, but that's available right today. You can take in inputs from any department in your company, analyze them on a real-time basis, and then zero data entry. So not sure how many of you manually input your accounts payable invoice or your expense receipts. Today with OCR technology, data extraction technology, you can completely eliminate any human intervention there. This is available right now. AI-driven audit and reconciliation, auto-matching of transactions, intelligent matching, that's also available right now. And these are some things that you can immediately look into to AI fuel your CA practice. Document review and extraction. This is an extension of the OCR technology, object character recognition that I spoke of. Client communication and support. I think earlier one gentleman spoke about how he has used generative AI, ChatGPT to improve the client collaboration. So collaborative technology is something that you can adopt right away. And you can use AI to summarize conversations, enhance the efficiency of the conversations that you have with your clients, something that is available right now. And risk assessment and fraud management. So this is a very, very, very important area to automatically, a lot of applications of AI today in the finance industry are on AML, fraud detection. So this is something that I advise you all to strongly look into. So these are all, some of them are really evolved. In fact, I can also show you examples of what we do at Zoho, but these are all available right now. You don't need to wait for something to emerge. And with that, I'll come to what we do at Zoho as far as AI is concerned. At Zoho, the entire AI stack, right? We have built it ourselves, right? From managing the data centers, all the applications, we manage the hardware ourselves, the networking, everything to build an AI stack. So we believe that everything is homegrown, built from the ground up. We will be able to service the customers better. And we have been doing it for several years. If you come to our headquarters in Chennai, right? We have a automatic car number detection tool that we have built in-house. So and we first actually we eat our own dog food first. So we use all the technology that we built ourselves. All these things we have built, sentiment analysis, grammar correction. I'll show you some examples of this. All these things were built in-house. Forecasting. Yeah. And AI, it's not just one area, right? It's widely used in security, in operations, because if you are running so many applications, you run the systems yourself, you run the hardware, you need outage detection, prediction of outages, All those things you need tools, right? So ultimately, the goal is to empower the customer. We built all these end to end to empower the customer so that our customers become better at doing their own business. And three key tenets that undergird our AI strategies: customer experience, value, and privacy. Experience, obviously, we want to deliver contextual facts, intelligence, and efficiency. We want to make our customers better at their job. Value, for example, you provide more insights. For example, if you are automatically able to glean more insights about your clients, you are able to deliver better value to them. And privacy, right? So obviously, customer owns the data. The data we are just custodians of the data. We have no right over the data, correct? So something that we have internalized. And we have been executing on these for several years. So some of the examples I can share you. Yeah. This is a document grammar check that we have built. So this is an in-house Zoho Intelligent Assistant, ZIA, grammar analysis on a document. We have our own spreadsheets. We don't use Excel. It's called Zoho Sheet. And smart analysis on the spreadsheet. ZIA is able to do that. So it's package. This is interesting. So when you actually deliver goods to your customers, right? I mean, you can visualize how the various items look inside the box. So you can optimize it. Optimize the storage area and the thing. So this is again in-house AI-driven development. And translation, right? Your confidential client documents, communication, if you're handling multiple clients globally, if you want that to be translated, and we can help you with the translation private. It has to happen privately. We don't send it to servers outside, and no one else has access to that data. Yeah. Smart CAPTCHA. You know what CAPTCHA is, everyone. So it's and yeah, some of these examples are more relevant. So something that area we are investing heavily is self-service business intelligence. Today, many CFOs, finance professionals, if they want insights into their data of their clients or their own company's data, they need to probably hire a developer or ask somebody to implement reports over other reporting tools and give specific information. So what we have done is that just the way you communicate between us, you can state your queries and the system will translate that into something that the database can understand and retrieve the data. So for example, if you want something like, what is the net profit per employee in this particular department, correct? So that's self-service BI. You should be able to do it. Business intelligence, you should be able to do it yourself. Yeah, some more examples. Again, an enhancement over that in a conversational manner. Yeah. So if showing in a map form, right? A spatial way of looking at that information. So natural language search. Search is actually a complex activity. So basically, it's a Zen paradox that says that the simplest things are most complex. But under the hood, there's a lot of algorithms that work in tandem to deliver you this search result. Call transcription. So we are getting close to what generative AI is. Call transcription and intelligence. Yeah. This is again very useful for companies that have a lot of customers who invest a lot in reducing the churn, right? It actually, it's easier to retain a customer than acquire a new customer. So how do you reduce the churn? So if you have tools that can predict who are the customers who are likely to leave your business, that would help. This again, when it comes to prediction, AI comes into the picture. presentations, correct? You give some inputs, you're able to generate a PPT. So this is again something we have done. So what is common between all these is it's all built with our in-house AI. It runs on Zoho Cloud, and it is privacy personified. And very different strategy from most of the other technology companies. But we do integrate with OpenAI. This is our roadmap as far as OpenAI integration is concerned. We integrate for present. Not so much with our finance suite of products yet, because obviously numbers and client confidentiality, the fiduciary responsibility comes. This is more to in our CRM and other applications where we have integrated ONL. It's more of then future going forward, right? The intention is to have our own LLM that can serve our customers. So today the challenge is the waiting time for one GPU is 6 months to 1 year. To the cost of few $1 million. Even if you are willing to pay, you may not get it soon. You need a graphical process. You need to actually build and test your LLMs, large language models, correct? That's not available even in the market now, even if you are willing to pay. And the long term, our focus will be on trustable, explainable AI. See, with all the talk about ChatGPT, it requires text that takes humans 20,000 years to read to predict the next word in a sentence. So, and it can say that, oh, this is likely to be the next word, but it can never confidently, you can never say, it will never say this is the truth. But what we actually need to confidently bank on something is trustable, explainable AI. And we want to lower the entry barrier. One good thing about ChatGPT is everyone can log in and use, right? Until then, AI was the playground for only larger companies. Now it is democratized. We will see more and more AI tools being democratized, and that's one of our goals. And narrow models that can really do one thing very well. LLMs related to finance or sales, keeping client confidentiality at the center. Yeah, strategy to ensure sustainable AI, that's our focus. Some of the upcoming tools in our AI, text generation, image generation, these are some of the upcoming tools that we are investing. Yeah, as I told, we are long-term is to have our own models that we can use to serve our clients. And yeah, so basically, I mean, we'll invest in all this. We will use a mashup of public available data and private data to serve our customers better. More generative AI capabilities we'll try to bring in. So something that we invest heavily already is, for example, there's a lot of data in financial systems. Very valuable data can be disseminated across the organizations to empower better decision making. So we already have the tools, the data is already available. So we'll enhance, make that more user-friendly so that our customers can gain a lot more value. Yeah, so across all the functions, we are investing in AI, finance, HR, sales, marketing, collaboration, productivity. So with that, what's next? Where will this take us? So the story of clever hands. So it's a very interesting thing. In 1900s, right? A German farmer made a remarkable claim that his horse Hans knows arithmetic. Now, what happened was, if you said what's 2 plus 3, and the horse will tap its hooves 5 times. And people were flummoxed, puzzled. How can a horse do this arithmetic? But then a psychologist carried a lot of experiments on the horse and found out that the horse can only tell you the right answer if I know the right answer. Only if the experimenter knew the right answer. So it can read subconsciously the subtle cues from the horse, from the experimenter and stop. If the experimenter says 2 plus 3, the horse will stop at 5 views. If the experimenter also knows that 2 plus 3 is 5. So a lot of, we still don't know whether a lot of these large language models can result in the correct this thing. So as I told you, right, it requires 20,000 years of text that humans can read to predict what's coming up in that next. So is that the best way to do achieve AGI? If your AGI is artificial general intelligence, something closer to human intelligence, is that the best way to achieve that? These are things that keep us awake, our AI research team. These are some of the questions that we keep asking ourselves. A 2-year-old kid can identify a cat, right? But way AI models work today is by seeing more and more and more of the same thing. Is that the best way to go? What will happen to us if we disappear? What will people miss if we disappear today? So these are some of the questions. So, but coming to how we intend to add value to our partnership, cultural continuity, endless reinvention. We have reinvented ourselves multiple times to keep abreast with the technologies and any changes, and continuous improvement. And this applies to individuals as well as firms, companies, regardless of what we are into. And with that, can we take questions, or because I think we are running out of time. I want to say a big thank you to all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Prashant. That was an excellent presentation on how AI would impact the accounting and finance. I think very nicely he talked about how the evolution of computers, all of us have seen last 3 decades, when all of us used to work on COBOL programming, used to work on simple applications like MS Word. Today we find that accountants are moving to new realms, and AI would definitely impact each one of us. And Zoho has been in the forefront on adopting newer technology. They've been working with the CA Institute, working with our profession to see how best we can help the members of our profession to move forward. Thank you, Prashant, for an excellent presentation. I'm sure a lot of input from you would help us to think more, try to understand how AI would help each one of us in furthering the cause of the profession. Now over to the Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you very much, Raghu sir. A big round of applause for all the panelists. Great insights into AI and AGI. I'd like to invite you on stage CA Gyanchand Mishra ji, respected Central Council member ICAI, to please come up on the stage and offer a token of gratitude to the session chair, CA K. Raghu, past president ICAI. Thank you very much, sir. So the traditional stroll and the memento depicting a charkha. Thank you very much. May I invite on stage CA Kishore Hemraj Bardia, Chairman, CIRC, to please come up and present a token of gratitude to Mr. Shahied Daniels, Chair, Edinburgh Group, and the Chief Executive Officer with South African Institute of Professional Accountants. Thank you very much. And may I invite now CA Abhay Kumar Chhajar, respected Central Council member with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, to present a token of thanks to Mr. Prashant from Zoho Corporation. Thank you very much, Prashant ji, for those slides and an insight into past, present, and future of AI. Thank you very much. With that, we conclude this session and we are all set to now move to the second session under the theme Startup and Technology. So we'll just start in a couple of minutes. Thank you.